City, bitch, Rat City.
So, we are the Basement Rats. This is CAIN Disposal Unit. It's a podcast. Yep.
It sure is.
This is the shebang. This is the real thing.
All right. So don't say anything incriminating, guys.
Yes, we are the Basement Rats. This is CAIN Disposal Unit. I, individually, as a person, speaking to you right now through your headset, am Tyler. And I am playing Caden Speak.
I am David, and I will be portraying Jack Nill.
I'm Joe, and I'll be playing Michael Crane.
I'm Sarah. I will be playing Eva Belafonte.
I am Nicole, and I am playing Mel Madigan.
And I'm Jeffrey, your humble GM, handler, and otherwise everyone else in the world.
Wow. Your IMPD must be huge.
It's really small. Because they just have me listed as everyone.
That's only one.
One credit.
Yeah, it's
everyone.
only one credit, yeah.
It's so efficient.
We find our team of exorcists in one of CAIN's headquarter buildings. It's a normal day for them where they're not allowed to do much. They have crappy living situation. They don't have very good food, and they don't really have clothes of their own. But it's a job. As they're all going about their day, not expecting much to happen, they get the call that they're needed for an exorcism.
Well, gang, let's get to it.
So we're going to do that again, are we?
Let's get this over with.
We did kill a man. Upside is I have snakes now.
What?
Concerning.
Oh, what? You didn't buy shoes?
Anyways, the exorcism. All right, I'm moving on from this. I'm going. You can follow me or you can't.
You head over to the briefing room in which your handler, Arthur Graves, is waiting. A tall man with salt and pepper hair, slicked back, clean shaven, rather built, wearing a nice pea coat, much better clothes than the rest of you. It's clear he's been doing this for long enough to be allowed such niceties. And all of you get the sense, just by being in the same room as him, that he is capable of things you cannot imagine.
Vulnerability?
Yeah, he's capable of being vulnerable. He has a really good home life, actually.
Oh, it's really incredible given his line of work.
Well, his home life is him and his cat
Oh,
in this CAIN headquarters building.
That's a better life than any of us are
It's
living right
much
now.
better than the rest of you.
Have any of us seen the cat?
You're not sure it's real. Although, to be clear, I'm talking to Michael that you're not sure it's real. Not all of you. Michael isn't sure it's real.
I must see it.
Hey, Chief. What do you got for us?
Welcome in, everyone. I'm not going to lie. The brass has got you all pegged for it, able to hit above your weight level. You all did such a good job on that first mysterious mission. Whole category above what you should be fighting, that they're doing it to you again, but this time we know that's the case.
Oh, great.
You're all officially Category 2 exorcists. La-di-da, don't you feel powerful? You'll be going after a Cat 3 today.
How much worse is that? What are we talking?
We're talking starting able to control entire city block.
Is this okay? Is this allowed?
I don't make the rules, Michael.
This seems a little excessive.
The way I see it, they either want you all to shape up, keep doing the job you are doing, keep hitting above that weight class, or die trying.
It's our reward.
Your reward is harder work, don't you feel lucky?
I know.
Never, never, never give 110%. Because they're going to keep expecting it.
Middle of the pack, kids. That's where you got to stay. Too bad you didn't do that.
All right, well, let's do us an adequate job.
Adequate sounds great. Come back, mission succeeded, no frills, no strings. Let's give you the little bit of information we have on this monster. I need to start by saying it's not a lot. You're going in pretty blind on this one. We are sure of only a few things. It is a category 3. It is a type 1. It is an idol.
Could you explain what an idol is one more time?
Yes, I can. Idol is a type of sin uh, described as serene, charming, radiating otherworldly beauty and poise. Unlike other sins, they possess the unique ability to appear visible to the graceless and often take a human-like form.
Oh, thank God.
They are more keen on building a following than doing any of the work themselves. So expect trouble with normal people. We don't have all of the details on this one, other than the fact we know the inciting incident. We know why you're being sent in, why we think this is a sin and not just weird shit happening in a small rural town.
All right, walk us through it.
A concerned mother contacted us. Well, not us, but people who got it to us. Of having lost their preteen child by the name of Michelle Holmes, the mother, and her lost son, Anthony. Let everyone know Anthony never really had friends in school, but started spending time with some strange group that the mother never really got in contact with. At first, it was a good thing. The son was meeting people, was getting out more, was even doing charity work. But he hadn't been home in weeks. Mother would hear from him, but not see him. Normally, a missing kid is not enough to draw our attention. Then we got the same report from about 32 other families.
32?
32. The reports came in the time span of about a week.
This time it's a monster kidnapping a bunch of, 10-year-old kids?
Now, kidnapping's a strong word for how idols operate. Many of them, are doing this willingly. They're giving themselves over to this. That is not to say that it shouldn't be eradicated. In fact, you will continue to eradicate until it is done. Be aware, a lot of the people you will be finding and perhaps saving don't want to be.
So sort of a brainwashing scenario.
It depends on the sin, and that's why I'm ashamed of not having more information. It could be a type of brainwashing where all of the members, all of these missing peoples, initially go there and then get tricked and fooled by the sin's power. Or maybe the sin is just convincing. Idols have a way of doing that. Some people just need something to look to.
Ain't that the truth?
Where are we going?
That's on a need-to-know basis, but we're dropping you off in a small rural town.
Okay.
So for us players, what questions are we going to be answering?
So, GM to players, the trauma questions for this particular type of sin are, what is your dream? The CAIN system is a group of exorcists, as we've been talking to, going out and hunting sins. This particular type of a sin is called an idol. There's a whole bunch of different types. There's ogres, there's hounds. Each one kind of represents different failings of mankind, I guess you could say. Idols are vain and generally like that. Once the exorcists go out, their goal is to do as much research as they can and answer these 3 trauma questions. The trauma questions are important because not only does it show the story to the players, but when they finally interact with and try to defeat the sin, they can literally use the answers to stop a sin from acting.
And an important point of clarification, I think, for those of you who are not familiar with the CAIN tabletop system by Abaddon, is that sins used to be people. All of them.
Some still are. So yes, the first trauma question, what is your dream? The second trauma question is, why did you give up on your dream? And the third trauma question is, why do you think you are incapable of being loved?
Oh.
Yikes.
Yeah, idols aren't great. Our first unpublished hunt was against something a lot simpler to deal with, just kind of a gross, angry thing. Idols are a lot more cerebral. They're upsetting, to put it mildly. It's a bad part. It's a bad face.
Well, idols are born of the desire to want to be loved.
Correct.
And that's upsetting.
Oh, it's relatable and bad.
Yikers.
Okay, well, I think we got all we're going to get intel-wise in that it exists.
Fun fact, again, GM to players, I don't have to tell you guys anything. I was recently reading through exactly what I should tell you on the briefing. On the first one we did, I told you guys most everything. I don't have to. The only thing I have to tell you is what type you're going against and the trauma questions.
Going in blind.
Yep. Isn't that fun? And sometimes I'll have you guys starting with more info. It'll depend. It'll all be narrative. It's like it's a role-playing game or something.
Crazy.
Wild.
Wow.
Meow.
Wow.
Where's the strategy guide so I can look up the answers in advance?
That'll cost $20 to my pocket personally.
Well, I mean,
Will it have stickers in the back?
I can make stickers. Actually, I can't make stickers, but I can make buttons.
I'll take it.
Buns are better.
I like a button.
And when I say I can make buttons, Joe can make buttons. But I can use those. I can take 15 of those $20 and give them to Joe. Then he'll make the button, and then I profit $5
Wow.
for having done nothing.
And then Joe can spend those $15 along with an additional $5 to provide them to Jeffrey for a strategy guide, and he'll get a neat little button. That's a self-sustaining economy.
Do we have any questions in or out of character?
So we're just, how long after our previous, is it just an unspecified amount of time after our previous?
Unspecified short amount of time from the previous hunt. It's a new episode. We don't discuss timetables.
Long enough for us to have healed our various wounds that we have received.
Except for the sin you can never wash away.
You can wash away half.
Half. But never all of it.
Nope. Once you have a single point, it never goes away.
Got 2 sin.
How is everyone doing on sin?
I have one.
I do only have one. One.
Nice.
Yeah, going in pretty strong.
Yeah, what a good first mission that no one will ever hear. So if there's no questions, you all get loaded into the helicopter and piloted away to your destination. It looks like you're heading Midwest US, but it's kind of hard to say. As the helicopter begins to touch down in the middle of a field, you see the small town ahead of you. You're less than a mile out. Your pilot, Colin, the same one who dropped you off last time. You guys have met Colin. He's good at dropping you off and picking you up. Shouts over the radio. Hey, did you all know that the term World Wide Web was coined in 1989 by Tim Berners-Lee while he was working at CERN? I thought that was a fun fact.
Thanks,
You all
Colin.
have good luck.
They surely didn't have internet back then.
We can't talk.
Thanks for
that,
the
can we?
ride.
Okay.
Cadence rolls her eyes and jumps out.
Without answering any of you, the helicopter starts to lift off even before all of you have stepped out. A voice in the back of one of your heads tells you to watch for the blades.
Duck.
Just stick my hand right upwards.
Yeah, just stick your hand up. They're not that low, actually.
You're not.
The helicopter leaves you all a little less than a mile out from this small town, an open field.
Sweet, sweet freedom.
All right. Can't wait to do Footloose.
We cannot afford Kevin Bacon.
This is the real America, Michael. It's where it all happens.
So we're just in a field outside of town, right? I guess we should start walking.
I was just going to start walking.
Nothing of interest happens in your small walk to town. You all come to where the buildings start, and it's a regular little middle of nowhere town. There are people walking and driving about, but nothing's really happening.
Is this a one street town?
No, there are more streets. It's small without being that small. I'd give a population number, but I don't know things like that.
Guys, I have a question. How do we go around asking about a bunch of missing kids without seeming like a bunch of weird creepers? We're already out of towners, so we're already very conspicuous.
I suggest we might start looking for potential flyers for group gatherings or things along those lines.
We could say we're part of the FBI. We look the part.
Oh yeah, we look the part with our not in uniforms and are not owning any badges.
The badges is a question, yeah.
Also, none of you have a tie. How can you be in the FBI if you don't have a tie?
I don't even have a jacket.
I have comfortable shoes.
That one technically has mechanical benefit. As you're all walking into town, how about the players describe their characters, so you can know how weird it is that Michael is saying what he's saying.
Yes. So Michael Crane is a pretty tall, skinny fellow. He is just like rail thin. He's he was like 6'5". I didn't have my measurements with me.
Real tall.
Real tall.
And maybe 100 pounds. And he is just covered head to toe with bandages. His suit, or not suit, but his work clothes are over them, so he's not an actual mummy walking around, but he is a curiosity at best.
Is his face covered in bandages too?
Kind of a really bizarre mix of Slender Man and Joshua Graham.
Yeah, for those of you who don't buy, you have to buy nicer clothes. You do not get your choice of outfit by default in the CAIN system. You start with a shirt. Yeah, you start with a plain white shirt.
And specifically uncomfortable shoes.
Correct. They're probably not even the right size.
You have like slacks, and I don't even believe you get a belt.
No
but
belt.
You definitely don't
no,
get a tie.
you have to. That belt is separate. No belt, no tie. Bad shoes,
So
cheap shirt and pants. That's what y'all start with.
get a buckle for a kid though.
So I decided the shirt and pants look. The in rules original CAIN uniform is a bizarre like shawl.
it works.
It's a simple cape over a simpler shirt. It's really hard to explain. I don't have the words for it, which I know is great to hear from your GM, but the book itself doesn't explain it very well, but there's a picture of the default uniform in the CAIN book.
Besides the capelet, though, I would describe it as schlubby business casual.
You are all schlubby business casual.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and roll up my sleeves, unbutton that top button, lean myself on a fence post, whoever I can find working in the yards.
What does Jack look like as he does this?
If you had to sum him up, I'd say used car salesman. Kind of fits his whole thing. Fairly nondescript, just slick backed hair. Always looking like he's kind of sizing you up a little bit.
Because he is.
Because he is. With kind of a little backpack on.
Cadence, yeah, she's about 26 years old, about 5'6", and black hair, green eyes. Her hair is usually always in either ponytail or messy bun, and she has the side of her head is buzzed.
Mel is just a little bit taller than Cadence, late 20s. She is 28. She has made her schlubby business casual uniform more disheveled with the rolled up sleeves and the way too big shirt tails tied up around her midriff, exposing a really ugly abdominal scar. Mel has got really faded blonde dyed hair in a sort of shaggy, messy cut with a very conspicuous natural skunk stripe down the top where the roots have started growing in because you can't get hair dye in CAIN. And there's a bunch of empty holes in her ears and face where there would be piercings if you were allowed.
But CAIN doesn't like you.
They took my shit.
They took all your piercings.
They took my flavor.
Eva is relatively tall, but is slouched over at almost all times. Very skinny. Not looking well. The hair is dark. The undercut is bad. There are eye bags. Her hair is already kind of going gray, but we don't talk about it. Um, did I say her age? I don't think so. But they're around 20, assumedly. Probably the youngest in the group at this point.
If it weren't for the fact that Michael was covered with bandages, you would be very visibly the youngest.
Probably. We don't know about Michael.
Michael is probably the oldest.
But they don't necessarily know that. It's really hard to tell age from business casual mummy.
Hair is short, eyes are brown, pretty nondescript too. Mostly just kind of looks like a slouchy, grumpy teenager.
You schlubby business casual folk all enter the edge of town, Jack leaning on a fence post. There's not a lot to say about the small town you find yourselves in. There is honestly only one building that sticks out to form any kind of skyline. There's a church belfry you can see from here. There is I take that back. There's two buildings of note that you can see from here. There's the church belfry, and there is a hospital. Oddly large hospital for a town this small. It likely is the only one for not just this town, but a few other surrounding towns. It's 3-4 stories if you had to guess, and it is pretty noticeable even from here. Other than those two structures, though, you just see lines of buildings, people walking along the sidewalk, people driving along. It's a normal, nice day. It's mid-spring. Not many clouds in the sky. It's bright, sunny, it's warm.
I like your idea of looking for a flyer, Michael. Let's go to the church because I can only think of a corkboard being at either the church or a community rec center. And I know where one of those things is.
I'm just looking for somebody doing some yard work. Just something outside. Sitting on their porch.
Yeah, you absolutely find someone just casually mowing their lawn. They take a small break to sip some lemonade as you wave and walk over.
Hey, name's Jack. What's your name?
Hey there, Jack. I'm Paul. What can I do for you?
Pleased to meet you, Paul. Sorry this is a little bit sudden. I have a reason to believe my kid brother might have come to this town. He went missing a couple weeks back.
Oh, another one.
Another one?
I mean, the local group around here has been recruiting a lot, not just in town, but yeah, we've been having quite a few folk come from outside of town claiming the same thing, having heard about it and moved here.
You, what group is this? You mind telling me a little bit about that?
Oh, I don't know much. I don't like to put my nose in other people's business, but I can tell you the name and whereabouts in town they are. They're just over on the other edge of town. Can't miss the, I don't like to use the word compound, but it is the one that comes to mind. Call themselves the Threads That Bind. Kind of a hippie notion if you ask me, but they do a lot of good work for the local hospital, so I'm not bothered much by them.
And they just got active, huh?
Oh, they have been for a while. I'd say a few months, probably.
All right. You know anybody that's part of that?
Personally, no connections, but it's funny. You asked about someone who had gone missing, and that's the first thing I thought. But there sure are a lot of people over there, and only members can go in, really. Though from what I understand, it's not hard to join up.
And these folks that go to that compound, you don't see them very often, do you?
Oh, we see them plenty, actually. They're coming and going all the time. Do all kinds of charity work all around town, but like I said, mostly in that hospital over there. Just so much charity work. I really don't got a problem with them. But if you haven't found anyone, they're likely over there.
Well, I might stop by that hospital. Hey, thank you very much. Is there anywhere I can, take a load off, get a cup of coffee around here?
Oh, there's a nice little cafe a couple blocks down, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for your time there, Paul.
Yeah, of course. Good to see out-of-towners.
Yeah, mighty appreciative. So, fellas, I think we got a direction to head in.
What do you got?
Apparently, that's a group that does a lot of charity work around here.
That is what the mom said of that missing kid.
Yes, her son Anthony did charity work with a strange group of friends.
All right, all adds up. It's the threads that bind.
Oh, is this going to be like some spider themed?
I'm kind of done with bugs, so I sure hope not.
Well, apparently this is not going to be gross to look at. So that gives me a little bit of peace of mind, I suppose. I could hit a kid all day. I don't want to hit that again.
Yeah.
Is where I'm going with that.
You know, Mel, we haven't been among the populace for that long, but boy,
Hey, did that girl just say they want to hit a kid?
you can't really say things like that out loud in public where other people can hear you. We should walk. We should keep walking.
Let's get out
We
of
should
here.
go.
God damn it.
Hey, did that girl just say damn God?
Yeah, Mel, why don't you keep it on the DL here for a little bit?
An
The
uncaring
listeners,
God laughs
have-
in the distance.
I throw my hands up in the air in resignation.
You just said I can hit a kid all day.
Yeah.
Did you know that that's a reasonable?
Hey. I don't want to hit that thing that we fought before again. I don't want to touch that.
I know. I want that on the soundboard.
It's the Midwest. They don't care.
No, you're allowed to hit your own kid. You're not allowed to hit a stranger's
Anyone else's,
kid.
yeah. She's right.
It's assault.
You
So
don't
where are
have
you guys
manners.
headed first? Are you well, real important question. Are you sticking together or splitting up?
We should cover, like, if we wanted to cover more ground. The thing is, we took too long last time, and that made everything worse.
This is really our only lead, so maybe we should stick together for now.
Well, our lead is going to the hospital, but we could also check out the church as sort of the only other thing I see on the skyline. We have a phone now.
Sure. Did that the man you spoke to said something about commune?
Yeah. Paul mentioned they had a little site that they gathered at. Commune sounds about right. Or compound.
Okay, so one of those has a hippie connotation, and the other one is definitely more culty sounding.
What's the difference?
Well, it's a compound when the police start knocking.
I see.
Until then, it's a commune.
Ah, of course.
That's probably a place where they just won't let anyone in, though, right?
No, but you could join up as a member.
I could try to join.
That's not a bad idea.
Okay, who has phones? Well, we should separate the group along those lines because I didn't buy one.
I have a phone.
I think we all have a phone except for you have a phone.
I got a phone.
This is the first time I've owned a cell phone.
That's weird. That's weird.
Why is that weird?
This is my first phone.
It's current year. Who doesn't have a phone? Well, except for me, I guess.
So, where do you guys head first?
Everyone has a phone except for Mel.
I didn't.
Who has a
think-
smartphone now? Just Eva.
I'm voguing.
Yeah,
Like
no,
you
that's
see
a-
me do it.
Sarah's
For the
Great
audience,
touch
it's
to this
important to know
audio
how often
format.
Sarah's
I
voguing.
know.
voguing into
I just
the
have to
mic.
tell people that I am so they know.
Yeah, it's important.
She's
for the
now
nerd.
dabbing and flossing simultaneously.
In my
It's-
chair.
While
sometimes.
sitting, it's super impressive.
It's crazy. I can't get the arms right though.
I've
Has
never
4
seen
sets of arms.
I've never seen someone backflip into a chair so elegantly.
I know. I'm a gymnast.
Yeah, I only saw the normal phone. I did the one script cell phone. I don't know if that's a smartphone or not.
There is a separate online capable phone.
Yeah, you got a jitterbug, my dude.
No, it's a phone.
I got a Nokia.
You just don't have a. No, it could even be a smartphone. You just don't have a data plan.
That sounds about right.
I did want to ask if I could use it to find any. I don't know. I feel like a group like this would have a social media presence, so I was gonna ask.
Do you look?
I would like to. I would type in threads that bind.
Cool. No check required here. You're capable of typing on a smartphone. You search for threads that bind, and you immediately find a link.
I click on it.
You click on it and are immediately faced with something that's reminiscent of a MySpace homepage. Black background, oddly colored texts on every page, bad music playing in the background if you have your volume turned up.
Do they got a top 8?
Yeah.
I've got a question for God.
Yeah.
Is a MySpace homepage anachronistic for the setting?
Yeah, what year is it?
No comment. So I don't want to date or give many real names of where you guys are because we're playing in something that's very close to reality, but at the same time isn't at all. But like smartphones do exist. You're not in, the early 2000s. But something like MySpace did exist. The important thing to note on the homepage, just under the threads that bind, logo is a strong word. It's just like a nice font set to threads that bind. Under it, almost as a subtext, is the message, never be alone again.
I'm starting to see a correlation.
There's a whole bunch of information on their website that you can read through. What kind of charity work they do, not only in this town, but in a couple neighboring towns. There's an address for their main headquarters, just publicly stated on the website. So you guys can find that pretty easily, even without knowing the layout of the town. Especially because you can, you have Google Maps. But it's just a lot of rhetoric about togetherness, never wanting to be alone, helping out your fellow man. A lot of things you would expect to see in this kind of like quickly growing group that is potentially responsible for people leaving their friends and family to come here. I would say even Eva, being basically raised by CAIN, is aware of this is the rhetoric you would use to target people who feel alone. It is predatory in nature.
I had a whole class on this when I was 5.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because one of the predominant sin types is idol. Idols gaining a following through predatory means is literally CAIN 101. You're very aware of this. The address it gives for their headquarters lines up with what Jack learned about their compound.
Right. So, what are we doing?
Let's say the address is 122 Boulevard Way.
We know the address to their commune pound.
Commune pound.
They're obviously targeting people who feel lonely. So, do we still want to check out the hospital to see if maybe we catch some of them in action?
I was thinking it might be a nice way to get introduced to the group. Slide in their ranks, you know what I mean?
All right.
Because we won't fall for it, surely.
Oh, of course not.
Yes, of course, because we're immune to propaganda.
I was going to say it's because we're psychic.
You are not immune to propaganda.
God.
Thank you. All right. So let's be careful and let's go look.
Don't worry so much. We got this.
So we make our way on foot towards the hospital.
It's easy to find because you can see it from nearly any street in the city.
Does it say what other kinds of volunteer work they do? Do they just cheer up sick people?
It does. It also just mentions they'll mow your lawn if you can't. They'll walk your dog.
They're like community centered.
Very community centered. It's all about helping the community. You're all able to make it to the hospital. You don't honestly stick out that much. Despite having similar, if not identical dress, they're not weird clothes being a shirt and pants. The hospital's doors open for you, and it's a hustling and bustling place. It's, as you could guess, it looks like this one hospital is the destination for the entire surrounding area, not just this town. There's clearly more people here than would be necessary for a town of this size.
Like volunteer wise and
Staffing wise, patient wise, the number of people here doesn't match the size of the town.
right.
That's not uncommon, though. If you get enough small towns near each other, one of them has to have the hospital.
Right.
Are we able to see anybody who's seemingly out of uniform, but is in a uniform of some kind?
Now, I do want to check for this. Now, it's important to note that for CAIN, you don't roll for every little thing like you might in other tabletops. You only really need to roll if failure matters. If it's you roll and fail and who cares, I would never ask for the roll. This is important because there's a specific something happening that if you don't catch right now, you won't.
Oh boy.
So should I roll investigation or surveillance for this?
I would say this is surveillance.
Can the rest of us get in on this? Because
I want Michael to roll.
okay,
I have a 1 in this.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
So 1 die.
One whole d6.
All right. And roll it. That's a 1.
That's a 1. You don't notice shit. As all of you miss this important bit of information that I, the GM, have no problem telling you missed, you do see a cork board, a little community cork board in the waiting room. There's all kinds of ads for new restaurants, for help needed, and the biggest one by far, in a loud blue and purple splat font, rather reminiscent to graffiti, is Threads That Bind. And just like all over their website, the clear tagline, never be alone again. And that's where we're going to end that session.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Again, we are Basement Rats. This is CAIN Disposal Unit. If you like today's episode, please leave a comment, give us a follow. Do all those normal show things. And we'll catch you next time. Thank you.
Basement Rats would like to extend our dearest thanks to Bertie for editing, Dylan for music, Bertie and Sarah for art, and Tom Bloom for designing the game.